Well, g'day everybody, and thank you for joining me today as we talk about how we can utilize artificial intelligence inside of an LMS. And in fact, how do we make an LMS AI native? For those that don't know me, my name is Damian. I'm one of the co-founders of Capytech, and we've been building e-learning solutions in the region for more than a decade now. So I'm going to keep this session very concise, and in about 30 minutes, we will cover elements related to how we can integrate AI directly inside of an LMS solution. So let's get into it. First of all, what we're going to cover in the next 30 minutes, we want to get past the buzzwords. Now, unfortunately, what I see in a lot of AI presentations is a lot of buzzwords, but not much actual real capability. I'm here to show you actual real capability today. And I want to tie it back to how this can be used by you in your day-to-day reality. So how can these features of and utilization of artificial intelligence really have an impact upon your companies? This will help you, whether you're looking at a new LMS or other capabilities in the future, to be able to ask better questions. And so be better prepared and aware of what is possible when we're looking at utilizing AI in our solutions. And we'll of course have time for a Q&A at the end. So if anyone has any questions, you can put it into the comments there, and I'll try to address them as best that I can. Now, this is not a pitch. I want you to ask questions as we go through, as you see fit. This is a capability demonstration and really to open up your perspective about what is possible. So what are the pressures that L&D people like yourself find yourself under at the moment? There's a big shift, of course, towards AI. The days of having month-old PDFs or even, static e-learning modules is soon becoming a time of the past. We need to get instant, personalized, customized learning ready for our learners. We need to support them where they are. And importantly, and this is so relevant throughout the GCC, especially in the UAE, we need to be able to support them in the languages that they speak. So it needs to be at least bilingual, Arabic, English to start with, but also supporting in the multitude of other languages that we will see in the region. And now, what about the ROI side? We need to really show capability lift here. We need to be able to respond quickly to what the learners expect to know and be able to give real metrics about the performances that we're hopefully impacting through our initiatives through digital learning and other initiatives as well. So let's look at the 4 products that become together in one platform, and I'm going to show all of these to you in a real live capability demonstration. Let's hope it all goes well. So there's 4 elements here. This isn't just a chatbot that's wearing different hats for different things. This is a learning focused solution that will cover a few different domains that you'll see in just a moment. And first of all, as I go into this, the system that I'll show you now is a fully fledged learning management system. So what is par for course at the moment of naturally for a learning management system is that you can deliver and track content. I'm not going to show that today because that's what you should be expecting from any LMS platform. I'm here to focus on the AI specific elements with it. And first of all, I'm going to talk about our 24/7 AI tutor. So this comes in a very familiar interface. But the point is that we are supporting learners where they are. And we integrate this sometimes inside of our e-learning modules or sometimes on the LMS platform that I'll show to you today. So it's contextually grounded, so it's trained on the learning materials that were given it. And we've built this in such a way that it's there to support the learners. It can support them in different languages as well. And the beauty of this is that on the back end of things, we're capturing anonymously all of the questions that are being asked. And I'll show you what the impact of that can be as well. But as I promised at the beginning, this will all be demonstrated live to you. So I'll switch over now to the learning management system itself. And I'll just go back to our dashboard. This is a LMS, it's beautifully designed and it's got the features you'd expect there. So we've got courses available for us. We've got badges and levels and and points and gamification elements, notifications. I can toggle to Arabic as well. I'll stick to English for the purposes of this. But what I'm going to go in is focus on where we are doing our actual learning. So I'm coming into my one of my learning modules here. And actually, I want to go into, let's go to this version here. So here I've got a standard course which is structured in such a way it'll take me through some of the capabilities we'll be talking about. But the first thing I want to showcase is our AI tutor, which we find right here. So this is a course about utilizing Microsoft Planner. And so we've trained the AI all about Microsoft Planner. So we've given it the learning resources that we built as a part of the course. There's an e-learning module available here, which I won't be showing today. And we've given it this content, but we've also given it other things like the manual for Microsoft Planner and various online resources as well. If you think about this in other contexts, like say your onboarding, you could bring in your code of conduct, you could bring in your HR policies and everything else here. That's where this becomes really, really powerful. So I can ask it a question. So what are the key capabilities of Microsoft Planner? Now, I can ask this in Arabic, I can ask this in different languages, and you'll see in just a moment it's going to come back to me with a response about what those key capabilities are. Right now, it's checking its knowledge base and it's coming back with the response there. I should note we can add voice capabilities here as well. So it's giving me all of these different elements here. So so I'm just going to pick one of these and ask it again. How can I configure the notifications? So it's building on the context of the previous question. So now it's going right in and it's giving me all of the details. Now we're talking about software here, so this is a little bit complex, but actually it's giving me all the details that I might want to have. And again, I could be asking these questions in Arabic as well. So this is on the front end side. So this is what the learner sees. Again, we can put voice in here. We can do this in multiple languages. So we're supporting the learner at the point of learning. This is key capability that we're enabling right here with the context relevant to what we're training them on. So let me show you what we have on the back end now as well. So here's our analytics dashboard, which is capturing all of the responses that are occurring here. So I get some details about what's happening on the system, how many questions were asked today, live sessions. I've got what time things are active. I can see a full log of all of the questions that are being asked and answered here. This is great for doing red team and quality assurance of your answers. But the key capability I want to show is that we are getting insights as to the topics, the recommendations on knowledge gaps and so on for the module. So why is this important? This allows us to almost in real time recognize the things that people are struggling with. So I can see the last questions that I asked are coming up immediately there. You can see this is a live system. People might be getting confused about the difference between Planner and other Microsoft project tools. Okay, that's a great example. So perhaps at the beginning of one of my modules, I can explain what the differences are, how they need more guidance on exporting. Okay, great. That might be another learning module that we can address. So we can be very, very responsive to what the learners want to know out of the content we're giving to them. Again, apply this to onboarding or HR. We could be talking about how do I apply for leave? And that maybe is not covered very well in your learning module. So by incorporating it here, we're able to respond more quickly. So we can be very, much more dynamic when it comes to the learning process and being adaptable to what learners need to know. So that's the first component, the AI tutor. The next part is our scenario builder. I really love this tool. So what we built here is a tool that we can have a dynamic conversation that's powered by AI about certain scenarios that we might be placing them in. So I'm going to come back into our live system here in a moment. So we pre-script some of the elements like the startup side of it. So what is the situation, the scenario that people find themselves in? And then as you'll see at the end, we will give them analytics and feedback directly on how well they performed. So this is great for compliance topics, sales, customer service. So there's many great areas that we could be applying this. I'll just close down our AI tutor and I'll come into our CapyCoach, as we're calling it here. Let me just minimize the sidebar here. So we've got a unexpected high bill that's coming in here, and the person is Samar, and she is unhappy about one of a bill that's come in here. So this, I'm being given the context of this scenario. So now I'll come in and I'll enter into the scenario now. So first thing we'll notice here,
Hi, I need to speak with someone about my latest
I'm
doer
just going to
bill.
mute her
I've
so
been
that you see
charged
there's full
AED.
voice. So I'm just going to mute her though. And I can also speak back to her as well if I prefer that methodology. So this is what she's come up. Presumably it's on a chat or on a call. I can see my conversational goals here. I can see her mood, and I've got the little bit about her as well. Hi Samar, thanks for calling today. Let me look into the issue for you. I'm sorry for your frustration. So I'm kind of cueing myself here about what I should be aiming to do in the goals of the conversation. Okay, so we can see immediately, so I've acknowledged the conversation. We see the mood has actually changed here, which is quite interesting. We tracked it up here as well. I'll just bring up a reply, up your account information, and I can see that the excess billing was done by mistake due to a system issue. Let me reverse that for you now. Okay, look, obviously she's very happy with that. Probably I wouldn't be quite so willing to give her a reverse. It seemed that it was a once-off issue and shouldn't happen again. It will be reversed in 2 to 3 working days. Okay, so now I'm hopefully ticking off a few more of the conversational goals. This one may not be relevant in this particular case, but anyhow, this conversation has gone fairly well. The client is happy here, so let's come in here and get some feedback. So we're analyzing the conversation that we've just had, and we can build countless scenarios for this for each individual learning requirement. So there we go. I've met 4 out of my 5 goals. And here I'm getting my feedback. So I got an 8.5. It tells me the areas that were strong, some areas for improvement as well, the tracking of the mood over time. I got a custom radar map for my skills assessment and some detailed scores. All of this can be fully customized as well. So if you think about this back to that learning journey, so I might be introducing learning topics through maybe conventional e-learning or even classroom training. I can then talk with my AI tutor to get support and reinforce that learning if I have any questions about it in whichever language I might have. And then I can consolidate all this through as real scenarios as I possibly can. I know that studies definitely say that applying this as real to real life applications as possible is such a powerful way to consolidate the learning. So this is what we're looking to do here. So that's a really powerful way to support learners. So coming back, we looked at our scenario builder here. We've seen the analytics that we can get from that as well, and we can build out these scenarios as we see fit in a wide variety of domains. Very, very powerful. Again, built right in, no need for any separate tools going anywhere else outside of the learning environment. The next one we're going to look at is feedback and proctoring. So for talking about this, on the proctoring side, this is where we've got a built-in AI tool that will actually capture the screen, it will capture the camera, and make sure that we are, that the person who might be doing an assessment is being completely honest. They're not looking at any external resources. It is the person that they say they are, that no one else comes into camera, all of these kind of things as well. So this is quite a useful thing, especially when the fidelity of your assessments is very, very important. Now, I'm going to focus here on our AI feedback tool. So conventionally, feedback has been given at the end of training, where we give forms that people will complete, hopefully. And then nowadays, we should be getting this so that it's automatically like consolidated and so on. But we want to try and get more qualitative feedback here. And that's why we built our what we call our Reflect AI feedback tool. And so this will allow us to have a dynamic conversation with an AI about how the learning was. So let's go have a look at that now. Okay, we might be having some bandwidth issues that this seems to be loading a little bit small, but that's okay. I can bring it up in a new window. And there we go. So we got our feedback here for our Microsoft Planner course. And so I really enjoyed the course and the practical elements of it. And you'll see here, respond back to me in just a moment. What could be more helpful, engaging? I would love more practical examples of times that we can use this tool. Great. More relevant examples, and I can have this conversation. This conversation can go on for multiple, as long as we're getting good feedback from the learner, we can scale this as much as we want. If you think about the application of AI here in this kind of tool, we can have this conversation in many different languages. We're rolling this out now for a client who we're doing the learning in 16 different languages. And so we can get a consolidated feedback of all of this. So now that is what the front end will look like for the learner. And it is loaded up there now. So let's have a look at what the back end looks like here. I'll just bring this across. Okay, so this is what our feedback backend looks like for us. I've got our Microsoft Planner course selected, and there again, I've got everything's being tracked here. So again, anonymously, all of the sessions are being recorded and being inputted to here. So again, similar to the AI tutor, but with a different emphasis here, we're getting feedback directly on the what the learner actually thinks about the module, and we can do this at absolute scale. So we've got 6 recommendations about the key findings here, and we've got 7 recommendations about how we can improve the learning as well. So this is really, really powerful information for us to, again, aim to improve the learning. So with combining these different tools together, we've got the ability to make our learning far more adaptable, see those true ROI from the learning initiatives that we are bringing into place here, and being able to overall ensure that the learning again is as impactful as possible. The beauty of applying the AI is here, AI in this particular case, we can do this at tremendous scale. There's no need for someone to sift through, Excel sheets or anything like that. And we can get truly qualitative analysis of what the feedback is happening there across many languages, across thousands of users. I should say that we can also do filtering here. So if we apply feedback at a certain date, we can just get the feedback post that specific date so we can see the before and after trend of what's been happening there in the learning. So I'll just come back to our module here. So that's our feedback and our proctoring tool that we have there, so we can make sure that we're capturing the best insights we possibly can. And the fourth tool here, and this is actually our latest tool that we have available, and this is to really, I guess, encourage that learning for the individual. So what we want them to do here is stay engaged on our learning platform. So we've taken a very much a Netflix style approach here for course recommendations. So if someone logs onto the platform and let's say they haven't been enrolled in any courses, then we can make suggestions for them at that point. We also make recommendations to them at the point when they've completed a learning course. So once they've completed, we'll give them the certificate or badge, whatever it might be, and then we'll have a pop-up for them that can recommend the next learning course. And so the way this is built is we will give them 3 basic recommendations again, inspired by kind of that Netflix style. So first of all, if let's say you've done part A of the cybersecurity course, then the next natural thing that you might be recommended on is the second part of the cybersecurity course. So you're continuing your learning journey on that same topic area. That's the first most obvious type of recommendation that you might be given. The next recommendation is like a trending topic. So what are the most popular topics that people are currently taking on our learning platform? We recommend this because it might open up non-obvious learning materials that someone might be interested in. There might be a new piece of learning that was just launched. It's proving very, very popular. It might be a very interesting topic that lots of people are engaging with. And so naturally, we'll recommend that to them. So it gives them something else that they might not be thinking about that they can then dive into learning. And then lastly, is the pick for you. So this is where we see what cohort or what category they're in. So if they're in the sales department or they're in the operations department, we can recommend a course that is most suitable for them. So it might be different than what they just did. It might not be the trending topic, but it's something that they could definitely learn from. So these are the things that we will recommend to them when they complete their learning. So what does that look like here? I'm going to bring this in and talk to it from my sidebar here. Oops. So I'll just come back to my courses page. And oh, the menu bar is not showing for me right now. So um, looks like I might not be able to showcase that part of the tool. But basically, we have a chat bot here, which will pop up from the side, and then I can from there get recommendations as to what courses I might want to do. Let's see if I can get the reforce. There we go. Okay. So we're back here. So here's my AI course recommender. So I can come in here and I can ask it what other learning topics might be of interest to me. So we have the first case when they've logged in for the first time, they don't maybe have any learning recommended to them. We have the second case when they've just completed some learning, but at any point they can come in here and they can get some recommendations. So it's recommending to me the wellness program. So let me click on this one. And then we go. I can go through this specific wellness program. I can enroll on it and I can complete my learning. So this gives me a great idea about what other learning is available there. This is really, really powerful, particularly if you subscribe to a large learning catalog. Sometimes there's hundreds, thousands, or more of learning modules available there. And so by having this kind of course recommendation, you can really filter out what might be most relevant there for the learners. So that's a really powerful way. We want to keep learners engaged. We want to give them more learning content at the point of learning, and so that's how we can really help the learners to get as much engagement as possible. We know that e-learning always has a challenge when it comes to learning engagement. So by applying these different means of utilizing AI at the point of learning, we're supporting the learners when they're going through learning. We're giving them realistic scenarios to help consolidate that. We're getting their feedback, applying that feedback, and we're making sure that we are recommending more relevant learning to them. So what does this all look like? So we like to think about it as enterprise grade foundations that this AI sits on. We make sure that we are obviously fully secure platform here. We are completely language model agnostic. So if you have your own language model enterprise subscription, we can plug into that, or we can use one of the local models available in the region, or we can utilize OpenAI APIs and so forth. So it's all enterprise grade, and it's also very flexible and agnostic to who or what system you might be using for the intelligence component of it. For the learners, there's a native mobile application for this naturally. That's very, very important. Our platform is built so that you can do fully online training, like in conventional e-learning. You can do virtual classrooms. You can plug into your team, Zoom, or our built-in solution, or you can run classroom training and manage that through our system and get some of the benefits. So even if you're doing classroom training, you might still make available to them the AI tutor so they can access that 24/7, even outside of your normal classroom, and of course, get the feedback from them and run them through the scenarios. Obviously, instructor can only go through a certain amount of scenarios. They might showcase one or two in a classroom, but then you can have them running through the scenarios as many times as they want to really consolidate that learning. Of course, it's got to be available in multiple languages. Our big focus is, of course, English and Arabic. And for learning platforms, I haven't talked about this at all because it should be there if it's a learning platform, but we can deliver different learning content from SCORM, AICC, and so forth, videos, PDF, and whatever else you might have. For the admin side, I want to show you some of the dashboard elements too, because this is very useful too. So um, coming away from the learning side now, we've got custom dashboards here where we can see all of the users, the time on course, completion rates, which is, critical when people are learning, what the most popular courses are, what the activities are. So we've got a full dashboard here that we can customize according to what your needs might be to get the data from the system that you might need. And we can build dashboards that are specifically for the executive groups and so on. By combining these different platforms as well, we can really surface up those knowledge gaps. And I've said a number of times already, make the learning more responsive to them. We got enterprise level security. Everything's role based, of course. We can put in single sign on, and everything is tracked and audited as well. So a bit about this. So we're all fully hosted here in the region. We give 99.9% uptime guarantee. Actually, Capytech was awarded the Dubai AI Seal as well. So we've got credentials there when it comes to the implementation of AI solutions, and we've done such a high focus on making sure that this is, an Arabic first platform. I've shown it in English because my Arabic is a little bit lacking, but we've delivered to multiple government clients, and so of course the expectations for complete, nativeness, fluency there in Arabic is of course assumed. So what does it look like going live? First of all, we'll have a kickoff, we'll get branding, we'll set up the system, whether we're hosting it or putting on on your platforms. We'll get any content that we might be being developed or that you might already have and do some user acceptor testing. And then we'll have the go live. And we say that actually the LMS platform in under 6 weeks, actually it's usually a lot less than that. We usually aim to get systems live in 2 to 3 weeks nowadays as well, as we become more and more efficient. The other things that we bundle in here, we've got over 50 modules for business essentials and wellness, the most popular topics available, and they're available both in English and in Arabic. We provide and like an animation pack, like some basically promotional material to help you raise awareness of the learning platform. And we run 4 dedicated training sessions for people that will be mostly administering the system. I didn't show it today, but actually on our system, if I come back just to the home page, we've got a system here that will help us to we can ask questions about how to actually utilize the system. So on the first login, they get a little walkthrough, but then as I'm on the dashboard page, I can get more details about how to interface with the learning platform as well. And so why us? Why Capytech? Well, we're doing it for 10 plus years. We're coming up to 13 years at the moment. We're trusted by such credible names like Articulate. We're an Articulate authorized partner in the region as well. So we have the LMS solution. We build, of course, incredible e-learning, which is what we're very famous for. And in addition to that, like we're trusted by a lot of local companies and partners. You'll get a named account manager, someone that you can call up at any time to make sure you're getting what you want out of your learning platform, making sure you get the maximum ROI there. So what's next? You can book a discovery call with myself or my team. You can reach out to us either here on LinkedIn, on email, on socials, wherever it might be. I would love if you followed us here on the LinkedIn platform. We're very, very active here. We share lots of really useful resources. And if you are in the market for a AI native learning management system, then we'd be very, very happy to support you with that. So I don't think any questions have come through at this stage. So feel free to reach out to us at any point, and we'll be happy to support you in your e-learning endeavors. Thanks so much for your time, and have a wonderful day.